What's up, everybody? It is your girl Kim White, aka Larato, and welcome to Daughters Who Roam. On this channel, we talk all things travel, solo travel, and wellness through the perspective of a woman of color, a Black woman. So, if you are interested in this global sisterhood, if you're interested in more insights and travel tips, even some story times, definitely subscribe. Today, we're talking safety. 1 second for me to get some tea. Because child, there's a lot right now on the news and in the media that could scare a person that would like to go out and venture and see the world, okay? There's a lot of political tensions that are happening. There's a lot of selective media coverage, and there is a lot of unrest in a lot of countries abroad. And here in the US, there's a growing amount of women who are looking to not only venture off and to see the world, but a lot of you are looking to potentially move. You're not just vacationing somewhere to vacate. You are vacationing somewhere to potentially relocate, from the States for a certain amount of time. And what I think, I don't know this for sure, but what I think and feel is that with everything happening in the media, it can stop a person and kind of freeze you in place from being able to make those moves because everything looks so scary. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 of my top safety tips for solo travelers. Of course, this can be used for group travel. And I highly encourage you to share it with some people. Even if they're already out there, we can always learn and pick up on different things, right? And so we're going to talk about that today. As a person who's traveled to maybe like 11 countries solo, so I'm new to this. I started in 2022 really traveling, and it came after I went on I went on a group trip with my friends, right, in 2022 for my birthday. And it was not a great trip. And so when I came back from that trip, I said, you know what? Instead of me doing group trips and things of that sort, putting all of this time and energy to be in community with people when I travel in this way, I'm just going to go see these places on my own because I think that would be the better move. And I've always been the person that is going to do it whether you come with me or not. So that's my spirit. But I understand that there are many women who need a little sisterly nudge to go out there by yourself. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you do. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. Let's talk about what's happening on the political scene. Like I said, media, the images that we see, there's a lot of political unrest. There are a lot of countries that are just having issues with things like gentrification. So there's some anti-foreigner sentiment. There's some anti-American sentiment, things of that sort. I don't want any of that to stop you, okay? So we are going to arm you with all of the safety tools that you need. I use all 5 of these and more. And if you're interested in finding out more once I'm done with this video, I have linked a free guide. That's the Daughters Who Roam Guide to Solo, Safe, and Sacred Travel. Say that 5 times fast. I don't even think I said it right, but you get my drift. I've linked that down below. It's yours for free. Just sign it up for my newsletter, which is a monthly newsletter. But it goes into more extensive things that you can do, right? So let's get into number 1. Number 1 is research. This is important because anytime that you pick a place, you need to know what's happening on the ground. For me, when I first started, I was looking at YouTube, and YouTube was everything for me. So I listened to what fellow travelers said about Portugal. Everyone was talking about how amazing Lisbon is, okay? And how they were relocating and XYZ. But I also knew that I needed to look at the travel advisory. If you go to the US travel advisory, it will tell you if there are certain tensions there, just as an extra checkpoint, right? And then looking in the news feed. That means that you're going to, you can go to Google and type in Barcelona policies, Barcelona, top news. And you'll see if there are protests, for instance, they just had a protest about anti-gentrification, anti-tourism. You'll also see that Mexico recently had one, and I believe Portugal even had one, right? Those things may not necessarily make the travel advisory, but they would make the news. And you want to know what's going on. For instance, y'all, there's a place in Mexico City, a city that I absolutely adore. It's called La Condesa. And Condesa has just like really cute shishi shops and things of that sort. I was referred to Condesa from a person that lived in Mexico City that goes back and forth all the time. I did more research. It validated what he said. And so I spent part of 2023 and 2024 in Mexico City. It's actually where I got my residency. Now, what had happened was this year, guess what? They had the huge riots in Condesa, which is where people were, there were literally tourists in the restaurants and they were rioting. Unfortunately, it was a protest that turned into a riot. And so while protest may not necessarily be a terrible thing because protest happens a lot, you do want to be aware because protests can turn into riots, and protests can in certain places have a very strong police presence. And depending on the country that you're in, that may not be the most favorable thing for you. So just make sure that you look up those things. Number one, you want to go to the travel advisory. Number two, look at things like YouTube and TikTok and see what other travelers have thought. Number three, read the news. And then the last one that I think is very, very valuable is going to a Facebook group. So if you're going to stay in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and you're going to stay there for a week or two by yourself, and you don't have a friend there, go into a Facebook group. You can do Black in Playa del Carmen or Playa del Carmen expats if that's what you prefer, if you want a more mixed bag. You can take a picture, introduce yourself. Hey guys, I'm so excited. I'll be in Playa del Carmen for the week of November the 3rd through the 8th. Are there any recommendations in terms of neighborhoods or things that I can do? Okay, you get what I'm saying? People are usually very helpful in those feeds. Now, in the Facebook groups, you can also search. So for instance, maybe you want to see what are the best neighborhoods. Instead of asking that question, which could be redundant, you can just search in that Facebook group, what are the best neighborhoods, and former things would come up. It's, again, how I found the person who I worked with through my residency by searching the group. And then another thing is that they have meetups. And so if you're lucky enough, there could be a meetup on the week or two or the month that you're there. It's a great landing spot, a great soft landing for you to be able to connect with expats of a similar hue in the place that you're going to be part of. So I love that because they will answer questions and tell you if things are dangerous, but it's like a built-in community for people who are looking to travel and have a soft landing place. So those are your number one, but 4 bullet points under number one. You get what I'm saying. Do your research. Number 2, choose your accommodation with safety in mind. So you want to make sure that if you're doing a hotel or even an Airbnb, that it is in a safe area. One of my go-tos whenever I'm looking into a space is Reddit. I go to Reddit before I go to TripAdvisor or anything else, just to look and see who's solo traveled in Paris. What's the best area to stay in Paris as a solo traveler? I'm usually looking for whatever post is the most recent, of course. And then from there, I'll find out what the neighborhoods are. If you're going into Brazil, you want to stay away from favelas, and there's certain areas that you can go into, certain areas that you can't. Usually that would be very robustly laid out in Reddit. Also, if you're on Airbnb or a hotel, scour the reviews. And I usually look for reviews with keywords: solo travel, safety, walkable, like walkability. I look for comfortable mattress. That's just not necessarily a safety thing, but it helps my back. And I look for transportation because I want to see how close is this place to transit. People will tell you As a solo traveler, I felt like the house was nice, but the neighborhood wasn't the safest. I wouldn't walk alone at night. Um, or maybe they would say, this place is great, it's really beautiful, but you definitely need a car. Things like that you want to know. So keep those in mind. Safety, walkability, transportation, proximity to transit, and bonus, a mattress if you need it for your body, okay? That's number 2. Accommodations are so important. You do not want to go with an Airbnb or a hotel that only has 2 ratings, 5 ratings. For me, anything under 50 ratings is not getting play for me. I'm not trying to help you prove a point. I need you to prove that you are worthy of my dollar and my body being in this place. So usually they'll give you their WhatsApp number. So you can also use that as a point of safety when you're going somewhere if you need an additional number to call. And if you're at a hotel, get the concierge's number. You get a 24-hour concierge number, so if anything happens, you can call back to that hotel, all right? So that's number 2, choosing your accommodations and making sure that you're in alignment with the host, the safety of the area, and having their information. Number 3, when you arrive at that airport, you should know how you're getting to where you're going, okay? Before you arrive to the airport, you want to know this because Uber is not created equal in all places. Some places offer Uber at airports, some places don't. I just learned from Baltic Global Travel, Anne-Marie, that in Italy, there are specific amounts that you are designated to pay based on where you're going from the airport. But if you're not aware of that, the taxi drivers will often try to gouge you for money. It's also prudent before you use a taxi, especially, because those aren't usually digitally tracked, verify the amount that it will cost before you get in, okay? So that's that. You want to know those things. I've got a crazy story. I was in Johannesburg, flying from Johannesburg to Kruger Park, and so that I can go to the national park and do a safari. Absolutely amazing. That video is coming up. And I get to the airport, y'all. This airport is like the size of my house. I'm not even kidding you. It was so small. It reminded me of Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Okay, that small of an airport. And I got there like, oh my God, where's the Uber? Where are the taxis? There was none of it, okay? And all of the rental cars were booked. So I had nothing, okay? And luckily for me, the way that they operate is that the rental car workers, they will offer to taxi you to where you go. But of course, you're gonna have to pay them and they split it and it's probably at a premium. But it was crazy. Like I really depended on the kindness of people to go to where I needed to be. And then the safari driver, who I adore, he got me someone to take me back who actually worked at the national park. So when I tell you, regardless of where you go, okay, because I had just come from Cape Town, everything was fine. Went to Johannesburg, everything was fine. I got Ubers in both places. I was in Mexico, I had Ubers there. I go to, oh my God, it's like I can't pronounce the name of the place, but I go to the airport near Kruger Park and they're like, taxis. I'll be your taxi. Like it was something else. So please, please, please make sure that you do that. It will save you a lot of time, headache, and potentially money. Moving on. Number 4, blend in. Blend in as much as you can. Now, I'm a fashionista. I hope y'all can hear me. I almost don't even want to mess with this remote control because hopefully you can hear me. Okay. I am a fashionista and I like to dress down, all right? But when I am overseas and I am by myself, even if I'm in the States, I am going to dress according to where I am. So you want to keep that with you. You want to keep that street smarts with you. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people come to places and I'm like, I see you. You know what I mean? And it's okay. It's okay if you're going to an event, if you're with a lot of people, if it's something special. But for instance, I went to Cuba in 2018. Me and my partner went to Cuba at the time. And we really thought that we were going to blend in. We thought that phenotypically we could pass for Cuban. And when we were walking, people were literally down the street saying, United States of America. And I'm like, do I have a target on my head? But a lot of it is how we dress. It is. And I didn't learn that until afterwards, once I went to places. Don't be so flashy. When you go to Cuba, people are not dressed up like Beyonce in the Lemonade video. That be us. We the ones that go down there in the big dresses with the earrings and the stuff, because that is what the media has shown us about Cuba. It has not necessarily shown us the truth of who the locals are. And so I have been just doing a better job of being chic, but very low key. No flashy jewelry goes with me, no designer bags, comfortable shoes. I match and I look clean, and I'll share some pictures with you. Like, y'all, I look good, but I don't look flashy. So when you travel smart. Okay, that was the best advice. It wasn't even advice. I was in South Africa and I went to dinner with one of my flatmates, and the host, when he saw me, he was like, don't you look smart? And I love that. I was like, no one's ever told me I look smart, but yeah, dress smart, okay? We don't gotta do the most. So that was 4A. This is 4B. 4B, part of blending in is knowing some local phrases. For me, I always think you should know how to say hello and thank you. But as a safety measure, learn how to say words like help me. Learn how to say I don't understand. Maybe even learn how to say doctor or police in the places that you go to. Excuse me, these are my mom's birds. They're going crazy. But learn how to say those words. Those words can be a bridge to your safety if it ever came down to it. And number five is staying connected. What I mean by that, share your itinerary. So this needs to be a Google document or Word document or an email that you send to a loved one person, maybe two. They need to know your flights, your hotel or Airbnb where you're staying, the dates in which you're staying there. They need to know your day trips that you're going on in the days so that they can kind of trace you. Speaking of tracing, Life 360. Enable it for your family. Enable it for a person to track you as you're going to where you're going. I wouldn't recommend replacing this with Instagram. I'm not sure if anyone would think that that's a good idea, but in case you do, Instagram can be very dangerous, especially posting in real time. So I don't recommend staying connected in that way at all. And if you're going to post on Instagram, only show the places that you're at after you've left them, okay? But sharing your itinerary, making sure that you enable Life 360 with someone, not sharing where you are in real time, and downloading offline maps are huge. Sometimes maybe your internet service that you're using is spotty. Well, if you get let me not jump ahead of myself. If you get an offline map, you won't have to rely on that. And for many of us, when we're traveling, our phones are our tethers to everywhere that we're going. So having that offline map is so important. I highly recommend it, especially if you're in places like Cuba, or even South Africa, where the internet could be on or off. You want to make sure that you can get to where you're going. An eSIM, a local eSIM, I think is always a great way to stay connected. Know the emergency numbers. This one should have been like 1B or 1A. Know the emergency numbers where you're going to, right? I feel like as I mature, I am more prepared when I go out. For instance, I carry dental floss now because things just like to settle in my teeth. I usually have like one form of pain medicine with me. Why? I don't know. I just feel more comfortable having it. I carry mints. I like to be prepared. I may not even use, a credit card, but I may have one present. I just like to be prepared. And I think that when it comes to your safety, these places around the world, you will feel safer. Many of them don't allow guns, all right? Many of these countries actually value their people, and you feel it in the people from how they treat you. I can't tell you the amount of Black women who's traveled abroad, myself included, that will attest to feeling like you are a human being and a Black person, excuse me. We can attest to feeling like a human being and a woman before Black. Does that make sense? Because the Blackness that you feel in the States can be heavy because we're taught to mask it, we're taught to lighten it, we're taught to do anything we can to disassociate with it because it infers a threat to the other or inferior to the other. And so if we're looking to climb, that means that we disassociate ourselves from maybe the culture, perhaps in some way. And if we're looking to be safe, we're disassociating ourselves from the culture. Whereas when you walk outside in Portugal or, you know, different places in the world, you just don't feel that. Now, I'm not saying there are not people who are racist and there's not an anti-Black sentiment in other places in the world, because it is. It's rampant. But you don't feel it to the degree that you feel it in the US and some of these countries that I'm speaking of. And you also don't feel the danger, like the possibilities of danger that you do when you're in the States. There's so many stories I can share with you about that. You know, I got pulled over in a car in South Africa. My driver got pulled over in a car in South Africa. I'm in the back seat, super scared. And I'm like, oh my God, what are they gonna do? They're pulling us over. You know, I'm having this whole meltdown. And the police officer looks like us, which matters or doesn't matter in the States. I'm gonna be honest, right? It doesn't carry much weight. But he looks like us, beautiful smile, came up to the car, talked to the guy, and then he asked the guy to get out of the car. Y'all, I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, am I gonna make it out of here? I was having a moment. So within 5 minutes, the driver comes back into the car, and I'm like, are you okay? Are we gonna be all right or whatever? The police comes behind him. He smiles. He says, all right, take care, brother. Have a good night. They're smiling and they're going, and I'm like, what happened? He's like, no, it's okay. He's just doing his job. Everything is okay. And for me, I was a bit aghast. Not at the fact that I got so wound up because I was still in my woundedness, but at the fact that he was so calm and physically at peace, physically not moved. And the fact that he just got pulled over, he's like, no, he was just doing his job. It's okay. Traffic's out. Maybe he got a ticket, maybe he didn't, but he wasn't shook. He didn't have sweat. He didn't have the reaction, the sympathetic reaction that I had. And I feel that across lands. So listen, I am just here to tell you, if you do this homework for yourself, which may be, you know, it may take a day or an afternoon of focus, it will pay you dividends. But I'm sure that a lot of you would probably spend more time than that looking for outfits and shit to wear. So why not spend an afternoon lining up everything that you need to make sure that your ducks are in a row, so that while you're traveling, you can have the best time of your life, and knowing that, you know, you've got your safety tethers in place. As I said, this is not an exhaustive list. I'm gonna come back with some things that I like to use when I'm there to protect my physical safety, like a travel carbon monoxide detector, a travel cube, and a couple other things. It'll be a really quick video, but this is a great start. Again, if y'all are wanting to know more about the extensive things that I do, which is about 20 things, and I put it in a link, a free guide for you. It's called the Daughters Who Roam Guide to Safe and Sacred Solo Travel. So it's not just safety tips, it's also some tips that I've learned for you to get the most out of your travel, to really ground in the places that you are, and to get the most enjoyment out of them. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link below. And yeah, let me know if this video was helpful for y'all. I am so sorry that it took me a while to get back. My perfectionism was getting the best of me. I'll be honest, but I'm here, okay, to bring value, and we have more great videos coming. We've got Thailand, which I will be joined by Cass, the Biscotti Hottie. She's coming through again for that one. Then I have, oh my gosh, South Africa. Y'all are going to lose your minds, okay? You're gonna lose your minds. South Africa, amazing. We're doing a retreat there soon. And more from Colombia, because we also have a retreat coming up in Colombia in 2026. So y'all stay tuned. There's a lot more good stuff coming. I hope that you're having a great day. Please like the video. Please, it's helping me grow as a channel. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. I love y'all. Welcome to the tribe, and I will see you on the next one. We out here.